guys, welcome back to my channel. I don't know if some of you noticed, I know this is literally only the second video, but I changed the name to Katelin's Corner, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. I like it, but also I kind of just liked it being called Katelin. So let me know in the comments what you think. Do you like Katelin's Corner? Do you just want it to be Katelin, or do you have another creative name for me? Let me know down below. But today, as you can tell by the title, I'm going to be talking about my Yankee Candle experience. So, alright, let's just get started. In 2014, I was going to the mall with my mom. Like, this is crazy because it was the summer of 2014. I think it was in August. And I just graduated high school. Me and my mom were going to shopping, and for as long as I can remember growing up, my mom was burning Yankee candles. So of course we just had to go to the store. And on the sign, they were hiring for sales associates. And at that time, I was working at a little like mom and pop baseball store. But first of all, I don't really know much about baseball, and second of all, like it really wasn't that. I don't know, it just wasn't like a job. So she's like, let's go in, you're getting an application. And I was just like, for Yankee Candle? Because like I didn't burn candles, no candle experience whatsoever. So we go in, and there was a super nice girl working there. She doesn't work there anymore, but she was very nice. And she gave me the application, I filled it out, handed it back in. And then I got a call like 2 weeks later. And it was from the same girl, and she said, we'd like to set up an interview with you. And I was so nervous because my first job at the baseball store wasn't really official, so there was no interview. I knew the people who owned it, so it was just kind of like, can you help us out kind of thing. So it wasn't official or professional or anything. But this was my first interview, my first job interview. I was so nervous. The outfit I wore, thinking back now, was probably the worst thing I ever could have worn in my life, but like I didn't know any better. When we get to the interview, I was super scared. At the time, Tom, who's now like, I just love Tom. I love him. Hi, if you're watching. He was the interviewer, and then there was another person there. He was the assistant manager at the time, and they were interviewing me, and I was so nervous. But it went well, and I got the job. I'll be honest, the first 2 days of training, I was like, this is insane. Like, these people care way too much about candles. Like, what is wrong with them? It's just wax. Look at me now. Like, who's talking? There was so much information to learn, and now it's like, I know, like the back of my hand, I can name any fact about a candle. Like, leave a comment down below, I'll answer it for you. But like, it's just crazy. I went through so many different experiences at Yankee, and I'd never worked retail like that. Like, the baseball store that I worked at prior to that was just kind of like thrown together by two people. There was no planograms or strict setups or anything like that. So when I got to Yankee, and that's what it was really cool to see that different side of retail, but also really scary. So the people who I worked with at the time were absolutely amazing. Cassidy was there, and she helped me every step along the way. She was absolutely amazing, and I love her for that. And I'm honestly like really gonna miss the Yank. That's what we called it. At one time it was me, Tom, Craig, which you guys don't know these people, but for the people watching who do know these people, it was me, Tom, Craig, Aiden, Cassidy, Lori. Like, that was my team that I loved, and it was such a good team, and we just had fun, and it was just an amazing place to work, and I loved going to work. I loved being in that store. Like, even when I went shopping, I would always stop at Yankee and like see who was working and talk to them for a little bit, even if I wasn't on the clock. Then it kind of changed after, I want to say, around my 3.5-year mark, or maybe before that. I don't really know. Time goes really fast, people. One of my managers left. Actually, two of my managers left, and it was absolutely horrible, and it was so sad, and it was good for them, but like, half of our family was gone, and it was really upsetting, and the whole dynamic of the store changed, and it wasn't what it used to be, and it was just so sad. But yeah, so that being said, there's no people in particular, there's nothing, like, I didn't do anything to get fired. Like, I put my 2 weeks in, and I left myself. I chose to leave because it wasn't working with my school schedule. What they wanted me to do, I go to school, okay, let's just start this part. So My first half of my college career was at a community college, so I was able to commute to work. I lived 15 minutes down the road. I still live 15 minutes down the road from Yankee Candle, the one I work at, and I was able to commute to school, and then at night or during the days or on the weekends, whatever, I would work. But now that I go to a university that's an hour away, where I stay and I dorm and I physically live most of the days of my my life, I made an agreement with my store to come back every other weekend to work, or 2 weekends on, 2 weekends off, or however it had to add up for plans or events or whatever. That worked perfectly for the first semester of college, but for some reason this semester they decided that wasn't enough, and they wanted me to work every single week, which I just wasn't gonna do because I'm not a commuter. Like, I don't commute home to work every weekend. I need to be there to have that college experience and to build my friend relationships and just be in an educational environment. Because when I come home, I'm not doing homework. I'm hanging out with my dog. You know what I mean? So it wasn't working. And also, I wasn't getting any hours. I mean, I just wasn't. Like, for being there for 3.5 years, I should have got more hours, and I just wasn't. And I'm not going to get into the depths of why I wasn't, because it's bullshit. But yeah, so I put my 2 weeks in, and I'm done. Yesterday was my last time working there, and it was really, really bittersweet because it was sad, but I didn't cry, which I really thought I would, and I think I would have cried if it was the old Yankee, if it was that team that I just talked about where we were all so close and it made it so fun. If I was leaving them, I would have cried. But to talk about, like, memories and stuff, because now I could tell stories, so I'm going to. So I'm trying to think of like memories, like stories to tell you guys. So we had this one associate, and she's the sweetest lady. Sweetest. She is so giving and so loving, and she's just amazing. But for some reason, she she didn't know some of the candle names, so I'm not trying to make fun of you. I love you, Lori, if you're watching this, but you're never gonna watch this, what am I talking about? But it just cracked me up. So, like, for example, Midsummer's Night, she would call Midnight Summer. Now, that's not a huge mistake, like, it's fine. Because some customers don't even call it the right name. Midsummer's Night Moon and the Moonlight and all these things, and I'm just like, you guys are crazy. But hers, just the way she said it was so funny, and she was so sure that's what the name was, and, like, none of us corrected her because, I don't know. That was one. Cafe Alfresco, she calls Cafe Alfredo. I'm not even lying. And we said it so much to her to see if she would catch it that I started saying it to customers. Like, I had this one customer come in, and she was like, oh, what are your new spring scents? And I was like, well, there's Cafe Alfredo. And then I was like, I just, like, stopped. And the customer was like, what? And I was like, I'm so sorry. And I explained the whole situation to her. Her name was Lori, so we called them Lori-isms, and, like, they were just so funny. So I literally have a list of them written down, and that's something I will always keep with me because they just crack me up. And literally we can just talk about that one word she said and recall a whole memory, a whole day about it. So it's just funny. There are so many memories of me and Cassidy working at Yankee Candle. I don't know what I remember when I was starting, she was the person training me, and she did a phenomenal job. Like, Cassidy is so smart. You can go to her for anything, about anything, and she will know the answer. Like, she's so intelligent. Alright, so this is not a secret. Like, I'm not exposing Yankee Candle, nothing, because customers know this. If you go in, you have a little book which tells you the notes of the candles, and, like, it's guys, confidential to the company. I'm not about to share the notes now, but I'm just saying there is a book that each associate has, and, like, you pull it out to help customers find certain scents, whatever. So we have a book. So the one time, me and Cassidy were, like, determined. Also, the notes are online, so I'm also not giving anything away by telling this story. Boom. Me and Cassidy were determined, and we swore to God that there was patchouli in Midsummer's Night. There's not. So the one day, we just figured out that there's no patchouli in it, because we used to play this game when we were bored, where we'd read the notes out loud, like, if nobody was in the store, we'd read the notes out loud, and then the other person would have to pick what candle they thought it was. Yeah. So we did that, and I was like, blah, 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 and the answer was Midsummer's Night, and she's like, but you didn't say patchouli, and I'm like, that's because there is no patchouli in it. So then a customer came in, like, maybe an hour later, and they were like, I love patchouli, do you have the patchouli candle? And Cassidy was like, no, but we have Midsummer's Night. And, like, I just looked at her, and I started dying behind the counter, because I'm like, Cassidy, we just figured out there's no patchouli in there, but it's just, like, things you do, like, literally pull it out of your ass, because, I don't know, it's just what we do. And, like, yeah. So anything like that was funny with Cassidy. She used to tell people, like, notes that were in candles that were not in there, and I would just crack up, and, like, I don't know, it was just funny. Another thing was, and Aiden does this the best, I wish he was here so he could do it, but one thing Cassidy always said to customers was, absolutely. Like, if the customer would say, like, can you shrink wrap this for me, or do you have this scent? Absolutely. And, like, I would die, because she didn't know she said it that way, but, like, it was so funny. So yeah, there's so many memories with Cassidy. I'm gonna insert pictures now so you guys can physically see memories. Like, it was just amazing. With Aiden, I'm trying to think. Aiden's just funny. Like, he's just funny to be around, and I feel like we have this, like, bicker between us. Like, we're like, okay, I'm not gonna say we're brother and sister because that's weird, but, like, we fight all the time. But, like, then we laugh about it. So I don't know. Aiden, you know what I mean. But, like, and he's probably laughing at me right now. Always working with Aiden was funny. And he dropped a candle on a customer's head once. And, like, that's not funny, but my favorite memory with Aiden was doing inventory, and, like, we had to work together, and I forget what happened, but we were just, like, cracking up, and it was so funny, and, like, we worked super efficiently together and got it done really quickly, but it was just so fun. Tom is hilarious. I literally love working with Tom so much. The one time, okay, so it was like, we close at 9 on weekdays, and it was like 8:55, and Tom had started his closing paperwork, and I was sweeping and whatever, and this guy walks in, right? So he literally walks in, and Tom was holding a clipboard, and he threw the clipboard down on the counter, the biggest bang ever, and the guy was like, and I was like, I started cracking up, and then I started talking to the guy, and when he left, I was like, Tom, you scared him, like, he was scared. Okay, you guys probably aren't laughing, but, like, I was cracking up. It was summer, and the doors were open, and it was beautiful. So, like, we turn our music off because we're outside of our mall, so the music on the outside plays super loudly, so, like, we don't want competing music, so we usually just turn ours off and have theirs play. But, so the Weekend, the band, who I love, was playing. It was, like, In the Night or The Hills or something. And I was dancing. Like, I was walking around Yankee dancing, right? And this old lady comes in, elderly, and I was dancing, and she, like, laughed a little bit, and I was like, I'm sorry, like, I just love The Weekend. And Tom's already laughing because this lady's laughing at me. But then this lady goes, oh my God, me too. Like, can you already believe it's Saturday? And I just looked at Tom, and I was like, I didn't mean the physical weekend, ma'am. I meant the band. Craigie, I can't even say how many funny things have happened with Craigie. He's the raunchiest, funniest man ever. My first encounter with Craig, this was terrible. So the first time I ever worked with him, we had to do perimeter, which is changing the hutches. And he was new, so, like, he didn't know what to do, so he wasn't helping me at all. Our store's tiny. Like, our store is a tiny store in the whole freaking world. But, he was walking through a person and a display, like, right in the middle, and he bumped them, I think, and he was like, sorry, my flub's coming through, and I lost it. Like, I mean, that's not funny, but he doesn't care, and, like, he has no filter, and he just cracks me up. And I'm just gonna put in all types of memories right now. I left, and I will miss them so much, and of course I'll still buy Yankee stuff. Like, I will never not buy Yankee, but, like, I mean, I have, like, 50,000 candles. I don't need any right now, but I'm gonna do a little montage, I'm gonna do my haul, and then I will do a little montage of memories. So here's my haul. Alright, so yesterday, you know I had to get some goodies before I left. So there was a buy one, get two free sale on the car jars. So I got myself some car jars. I actually got 4 for my mom and 5 for me. So one is in my car right now. I have Coconut Beach in my car. It's the cardboard ones. And for my mom, I got the new sun-dried apricot rose, honey clementine, Sicilian lemon, Bahama Breeze, because she loves Bahama Breeze. So I got her those. And for myself, I got honey lavender gelato, because I love this scent. A new one, which is called Rainfall. And this is just super, super fresh. Kind of smells like apple Jolly Ranchers, but also super fresh. So, I don't know. Go try it. It's really, really good. They're buy one, get two free. You can't really beat that. Then I also bought myself a Sicilian lemon because this is the absolute best car scent I've ever had in my life. And, of course, a honey clementine. And then I also bought some milk cups. Now I use my employee discount for this, my last employee discount purchase. I bought 3 Calm and Quiet Place milk cups because I'm absolutely obsessed with this scent. My haul, that was my little Yankee Candle spiel. They told me that I'm always welcome back there, so I don't know. This might not be the end of me working there. It might be, I really don't know. So we'll see what the future has in store. But here's a little montage, and at the end of that, if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like the Flyers, because they're winning right now, give this video a thumbs up. And also because I'm going to a Flyers game next week, and I'm so hyped! If you want to subscribe, share it with your friends, leave a comment down below. Yeah, so love you guys. Thank you for watching, and enjoy the montage. You take a lot of selfies.
Mm-hmm. I hate the way
Really?
it looks.
Can I see the most recent one?
I don't take so. Get out of here.
Can I? This just happened. As we're leaving, her carpenter pants got stuck.
Yeah, so much for carpenter pants.
Too many cooks. Too many cooks. I'm a bunny. Do you want to be a bunny? It's not. It's snowing. Look, it's starting.
Can you say happy birthday to her?
Slug.
That's not nice. Say happy birthday.
Slug.
Hurry, it's almost over.
Good.
Break it up. Break it down.
Just died. Fizz all over his apartment. He's all excited. Stop!
Also do one.
This is so slow. Are you on Citrix over there?